It was the deadliest day in Colorado history, November 29, 1864. The Sand Creek Massacre. More than 230 people, mostly women, children, and elders, were killed near Eads, Colorado.
Well, as we honor Native American heritage, we learned the city of Boulder is working with the Arapaho and Cheyenne tribes to recognize Boulder's connection to that tragedy. Your reporter, Sarah Hobakowitz, shares her efforts.
This open space northeast of Boulder is where Fort Chambers likely stood. The structure, built of sod in the summer of 1864, was used to train a volunteer militia. More than 100 men from the Boulder Valley enlisted to serve with Company D in the 3rd Colorado Cavalry.
Fort Chambers was created for the sole purpose of the extermination of the Cheyenne Arapaho people.
Territorial Governor John Evans had issued a proclamation to the, quote, patriotic citizens of Colorado to raise a regiment to pursue, kill, and destroy all hostile Indians that infested the plains.
This was all fabricated. Fort Chambers was used to train the militia. They went from there.
The Arapaho and Cheyenne people at Sand Creek had been promised protection from the U.S. military after they registered on Evans' orders, indicating they were not hostile to the U.S. That betrayal forever changed the tribes.
It was probably the most horrific day in our history because of what took place in that one span of 2 days.
The soldiers returned to Boulder from the massacre as heroes, and 100 years later, the idea that Fort Chambers had stood guard during an Indian uprising prevailed.
For years, people in the Boulder area, members of Company D, still got together and had reminiscences of their participation in the Sand Creek Massacre. And by 1959, that marker was installed with a still consideration that it was a battle rather than a massacre.
This marker was removed last year and replaced with this temporary sign, while Boulder works with the Arapaho and Cheyenne to build the vision for the open space. The concept calls for trails and visitor access.
We've really focused on this theme of heal the land, heal the people. A healing trail to foster healing and reflection and consideration. And then second, a part of that is to heal the land. So ecological restoration processes.
Fred Mosqueda likes the effort to preserve this land and to educate others, but he doesn't see it as a draw for Native people.
That's like asking a Jewish person to go pray at Auschwitz. I don't really have good feelings about Fort Chambers. How can I?
And Mosqueda says this marker should be returned so visitors understand the mindset that produced the atrocities at Sand Creek. In Boulder County, Sarah Hobakowitz covering Colorado First.
Well, that opening of the proposed Fort Chambers Healing Trail is still years away. Boulder invites the community to engage as it determines how to present this history.